It's been fantastic to be in Le Bourne. We've been out here for 7 days, and just the first couple of days, everyone just settled into the performance environment really, really well, and that's what I'm after. Everyone just settling and getting into the training. When they've been out in Le Bourne, it's been a fantastic place for them to be out on the bike, the swim, the open water, the running around here is fantastic, and I think it's just the best place to be to prepare for the test event in 2023. It's really important to run a camp, the year before, is to allow those podium athletes to know the environment they're coming into, so that next year when they come in, they're prepared, they're ready, they know the routes, they know the open water, they know how to get to places. And even though we've settled in really well and really quickly this time round, it will be just like a second home when they arrive next year before the main event. The prep camps allow athletes to just make that transition from being at home and training environments and big training blocks, and just limits the distractions, limits the need to cook, limits the need to tidy up after themselves, and just increases that ability to recover and prepare for the next session. And it's just that gradual move towards that competitive edge when the nerves start going, and you're just starting to fix in on that performance and just no distractions. It's a direct replica of what we're doing here in 2023 to what we're doing in 2024. What we'd probably do is maybe add a couple more days, just an extra few more days, just to allow people just to settle into the environment a little bit sooner, and just extend that time into what is their milestone event of maybe their careers. So it's really important to them, and if it's really important to them, it's really important to us. Prep camps are an interesting one, especially when you're going for 10, 14 days, because still in that period you're still training quite hard, and it's that transition that you're making from that final last prep into transitioning into your taper and transitioning into the race environment. So it's multifaceted. It's probably 3 sections, that final bit of training, that final push, that final kind of transition and taper when you get into the race environment. Because once you get into Paris, then that's it, the job's done, and you're just trying to maintain what we've got at that point. Test event this year is really important. It was so important in Tokyo, it's so important for Paris, and what we've done is we've brought a podium group, and those people that have managed to get a race start have come out to prep camp and are going to go and race in Paris. And what we've also done is recognise that there's a short amount of starts in Paris for the test event, and be a lot more starts for the games, 80 to 120. So we're bringing those athletes that are still ranked really highly, will still be at the games, we're still supporting, we're bringing those out to Paris, just so that they can get a flavour of the river, how the event's set up, and just be able to just soak it in without the competitive element taking over, so they can just get a visualise of, in 12 months time, I could be here, and I could be on the start line there, and they should be performing really, really well. The fans and the spectators can expect what I think is the most spectacular venue of all the venues in Paris. I remember going out there with the British Paralympic Association to have a little bit of a recce. I remember stood on the Pont Alexandre III, you can see the Eiffel Tower at one end, you just walk down the street and the athletes will go up to the Arc de Triomphe, they'll have the Grand Palais just to the right, and it is a spectacular venue. I think we're second to none in venues, and I think the visual will be fantastic for those present and those watching live on Triathlon Live. I think for the athletes, I think it will be a memorable course. It's got cobbles, it's got the river swim, it's got 2 different transitions, it's got everything that the sport can give, and hopefully this year and next year it'll be a triathlon, and we'll have a fantastic event. Qualification for the Paralympic Games has already started. It started way back in Madrid in May, and it will continue from that point all the way through to June next year, and it's going to come thick and fast. So test event is a major part of our selection criteria for the game. So a good performance here, a good performance at Worlds could get you in a place where you're already going to a Games, and you can pick your destination and your journey to the Games next year. We'll have a couple of athletes that are still going to maybe have to go long haul, maybe going to have to go to Australia, unfortunately, maybe going to have to go to Yokohama and Japan, and just go and have some great performances out there early season, just to finish off those last quota spots. And then a great piece of work from British Triathlon is we've got Swansea, the last weekend of the qualification period, just in case we might need that. Hopefully we don't, but then we'll know where our team is, and we're just narrowing it at that point onto the Games. The final 12 months into a Games is fascinating. So you get the noise level increasing from the outside, but on the inside it becomes a lot simpler. you're starting to get an idea of who's going to be forming the team, who's doing well in qualification. You're starting to have some real pointy conversations about this one race. It starts to become really, really simple. Maybe not darting around the world trying to collect qualification points. And all we're trying to do is simplify the process. While at the same time, the world is recognising that it's Olympics and Paralympic year. And it starts to get really noisy, starts to get media attention, it starts to, the ability to bring new people into the sport. And I think it's not being distracted and keeping it simple for the athletes so they can focus on that one day, one race. The Paralympic Games is so important to the Paralympic movement. It is the showcase, it is the showpiece. But the journey towards a Paralympic Games can offer so much to an organisation, to a person, to members of the team, both staff and athletes. And I think people forget, they see that one day, one race, they see that 60 minutes and they think that is it. But actually what's gone into that is 4 years, 8 years of going around the globe, having great experiences in swim, bike, run. And I think that's the thing that we're trying to capture in British Triathlon, is doing the right thing, making sure you're having great experiences in swim, bike and run, and you can have a great journey with triathlon. So I think it's a great opportunity for people to see the sport, see it at its best and go, I want to be there maybe in LA or maybe in 2032. And that opportunity exists within British Triathlon. So please, if you think that it's for you, get in contact with us and definitely we will have a great time with swim, bike and run.